This story took place in the small town of Pembroke in southeast Wales on December 17, 2021 at around 4 a.m. The emergency services received a call from a local resident. She reported finding a woman's body in Melpont Pond. After arriving on the scene, medics began resuscitative measures. All signs pointed to the fact that the girl had been in the pond recently and there was a chance to save her. But all attempts were unsuccessful. Doctors recorded death. She was stripped to the waist and was face down in the water. The depth of the pond near the shore was about 1 meter, and the version of an accident was almost immediately ruled out. Medical experts found signs of strangulation around her neck. There were scratches and bruises on her face and hands. The victim had been strangled, and then someone pushed her body into the pond in cold blood. There were no personal effects on her body. Police found a dry lace top on the shore. It indicated that it had been removed before the girl was in the water. The rest of the items were found with the help of a service dog, which picked up the scent and led police to the alley 120 yards from where the body was found. There they found a jacket and a cell phone. The identity of the murdered woman was established. She turned out to be an 18-year-old girl named Lily Sullivan. Lily was the only and most desired child of her mother, Anna Sullivan, who had suffered 14 miscarriages. The birth of a healthy baby was a miracle. They had a special bond and trusting relationship. The mother said she had already resigned herself to never having children, and when Lily was born, she was beyond happy. Her daughter gave her true meaning and purpose in life. The girl lived with her family in the suburbs of Pembroke. Friends and acquaintances described her as a cheerful, sweet girl, a true friend who would come to the rescue at any moment to help in word and deed. She always saw the good in people, but only in herself was she highly critical. Lily was an excellent artist, drew sketches of tattoos, loved bright makeup, was a volunteer in various charity projects. At 17, she entered her freshman year of college and worked part-time at a supermarket in the evenings. She turned 18 in early December. As an adult, Lily began going out with her friends to clubs and pubs. On the evening of December 16, 2021, Lily's mother, Anna Sullivan, drove her daughter and her friends to a pub called The Castle, where a Christmas party was being held. After the pub, the girls decided to go dancing at a nightclub. There, Lily was asked to meet 31-year-old Lewis Haynes, who was also spending the night with friends. Lewis was a cricket player who was known to many people in this area of the city, and especially in this nightclub where he partied the night away. Around 11 o'clock at night, Lily and Lewis were seen kissing in the club. At that moment, they were seen by one of Haynes's friends, who took Lewis aside and told him not to forget that he had a girlfriend and a small child waiting for him at home. But the friend's words did not stop Lewis, and he continued to socialize with her. Near midnight, Lily called her mother and asked her to pick her up in a few hours. They agreed to meet in a parking lot near the club. At 1:55 a.m., Lily left the club and Lewis followed. He pretended to walk her out. Lewis's boyfriend was standing outside the club. He called after her, "I remind you that you have a girlfriend and a young daughter waiting for you at home, and she's only 18 years old." Lewis and Lily went to an unlit alley near Pembroke Castle overlooking Melpont Pond. There, Lewis tried to kiss the girl again, but Lily thwarted his attempt when she heard her friend's sentence from the girl and the baby. She immediately decided to go to the parking lot where her mother was waiting for her in the car. At 2:15 a.m., Anne Sullivan called her daughter and told her she was waiting at the appointed spot. Lily replied that she was a few minutes away and would be there shortly. The girl was still on the phone with her mother when the call was suddenly cut off. At that moment, Lily's new acquaintance realized that the night was not going to go as planned. Just kissing at the club wasn't enough, and he wanted more. Lewis wasn't about to let her go. He began to grab the girl's arms and tried to forcibly remove her lace top. Then Lily pushed the intrusive man away and threatened to blame him if he didn't stop, saying that his daughter would be ashamed of such a father. These words enraged the drunken Lewis, as he was in the process of gathering court documents to establish custody of his daughter, and police attention to his person would have ruined all plans. He then struck Lily several times. Lewis threw the girl to the ground and began choking her, then pushed her into the pond. Around this time, a neighbor said he heard a woman screaming, which soon stopped. Anna tried to call her daughter about 30 times, but to no avail. She never picked up the phone again. One of the CCTV recordings in the alley showed Lily's phone screen flashing repeatedly as her mother tried to contact her. Later, while reviewing the CCTV footage, investigators saw Lewis and Lily walking down the alley together. And at 3 hours and 8 minutes, another camera captured Lewis appearing on the bridge, but alone. The footage clearly shows him first just walking and then starting to run. A few minutes later, at 3 hours and 10 minutes, the killer was captured by another camera located at the gas station where Anna Sullivan was waiting for her daughter. All the time Anna had been trying to reach Lily, she was getting very worried and desperately searching for her with her eyes. That's when she locked eyes with the killer of her beloved daughter. As he passed Anna's car, Lewis Haynes looked her straight in the eye and began to behave inappropriately. He overheard a conversation between Lily and her mother discussing the time and place of the meeting, and realized that he was most likely looking into the eyes of his victim's mother. He began to wave his arms and shake his head. Anna found the stranger's behavior very strange. She followed him with her eyes until he disappeared into the public garden. At that moment, the mother could not imagine that just a few minutes earlier, this nocturnal stranger had taken the life of her only daughter. Lewis returned home around 3:40 a.m. in wet clothes. He had deep scratches on his arms, was hysterical, woke up his girlfriend, and began begging to be taken to the house where his parents lived. The man was so insistent that the girl had no choice but to comply. She did not realize what was happening. On the way, he uttered the phrase, "I think she's dead," which raised even more questions. At 6 a.m. on December 17th, police officers arrested Lewis at his parents' home. The police had been called by Lewis's father. As they led him out, he asked himself hysterically, "What the hell have I done?" On December 20th, 2021, Lewis Haynes was charged with murder. Due to overwhelming evidence, he pleaded guilty to the murder of Lily Sullivan, but denied committing the sexually motivated crime. He said he committed the crime because of threats to go to the police. According to Haynes, he had an attack of aggression, and when the level of emotion began to subside, he realized what he had done and went into the pond to render aid. But when he realized the girl showed no signs of life, he fled. The court and the prosecutor didn't take his word for it. Judge Paul Thomas put it this way: "If Lewis went into the water, it was to make sure she was dead, not to try to save her." He had his cell phone with him, but no 911 calls were made that night. The cameras also showed that he didn't ask passers-by for help. He just walked straight home. Before the sentencing, Anna said she made a terrible mistake that night. She should have gotten out of the car and gone to Lily after the connection was cut, because then there would have been a chance to save her daughter. A month before Lily was killed, Anna Sullivan had a heart attack. Her daughter saved her life, quickly recognizing the danger and administering first aid before paramedics arrived. Lily's grandfather loved her dearly. He suffered from dementia, and Anna Sullivan literally had to explain every day why his favorite granddaughter was not there. It was very painful. It was like inflicting a new wound on myself every day, Anna said. She also said that after her daughter's death, she began to suffer from panic attacks and stopped being afraid of death because that was the only way she would be able to see her child again in another world. She called Lewis Haynes pure evil, who, because of his base instincts, destroyed several destinies in one moment. On August 21st, 2022, the Swansea Crown Court sentenced Lewis Haynes to life imprisonment with the right to apply for parole after 23 years and 4 months. In 2044, the killer could be free again.